Okay, so you go to Abraham Lincoln High School in Coney Island as well.
Yep.
And you just become a monster at that school. You become the all-time leading scorer until 2009 when Lance Stevenson, beat your record. You were named New York State Mr. Basketball. And it was around this time that you met LeBron.
Yep.
He came to New York to play.
Yep.
How big of a deal was LeBron during this time?
Sheesh. It's like in the basketball world, like the guys that knew, like Braun was already Braun off the rip.
Okay.
Like he was already 6'8", shooting fadeaway threes. Like he was already just moving like he was Michael Jordan.
Okay. Well, what happened when you guys started playing together?
Well, me and Braun known each other since we was like, how old? Maybe 12, 13. Before we got to the league, I had Braun come out to New York City and playing IA8. That was a legendary game. It was cool for people who know who he is now. Like, man, Braun was, in Brooklyn and Queens with Bassie and shit. But when Braun came out here to New York, Braun only had 2 points. And everybody be like kind of picking on me about that. They're like, yo, why Braun came out here? He only had 2 points. I was like, I think Braun only had 2 points because when they pulled up, so let me tell you, we had Braun come out here. So we paid for the tickets. When they landed, we had 2 big turtles. Everyone got my jersey on, right? It's Braun, Mav, Rich, his group of characters, right? His group, right? His posse. So when they got off the plane and they seen how we had it and how we was running around New York, and my brother, the coach, and my coaches, somebody from the community that's our friend, and my friends is doing what they doing, like they ain't need to play the game. They knew they knew what they needed to do once they left from right there.
Well, right, because in 2002, you and Braun were on the cover of Slam.
Yeah.
And I remember the caption said, Sebastian Telfair and LeBron James are about to rule the world.
Fact.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. How did it feel to be on the cover with LeBron on one of the biggest basketball magazines in the world?
Like now or at the time?
At the time.
It was normal because, I feel like we was somewhat equals at that time. We both the top players in the country. We both were serious about basketball, but that definitely was super, super cool. That Braun go be the #1 pick a year or two after. That was definitely a part of my legacy, especially being from New York City. It definitely heightened the whole thing.
Well, right. I mean, Slam does occasionally put high school players on the cover, but not very often. Usually these are NBA players. So the fact they put 2 high school kids, 2 teenagers on the cover, but then with that, you had a Sports Illustrated cover story, you had a documentary, Through the Fire, there was a book, The Jump, Sebastian Telfair.
I'm glad you know all this, Vlad, because they're trying to leave me out the story. They're trying to act like they don't know all of this.
There was a magnifying glass on you.
Facts.
In high school, the likes of which I've rarely seen.
Facts. I'm the first Indian over the hill.
Right.
I'm the first Indian over the hill. So the whole template like you see nowadays when a kid come in, they got, cameras following him, he got a clothing line, he got his sneakers, the posse, the all that. I'm the first Indian over the hill to do that. And mine was organic. And we gave them Through the Fire, the documentary, which really showed everybody exactly, what to do and what we was doing at the time. And shit, everybody got paid after that. Everybody knew what to do.
Right, because you were also the McDonald's All-American. What year in high school?
04.
So you were what? You were a senior?
Senior, yep.
Got it.
All-Americans is for seniors.
Right. Which, if you're in the McDonald's All-American, it pretty much assured an NBA deal later on. Most times.
But by that time, I was already a full pro by that time. You talking my senior year? Like I've been on full salary, for already years.
Wait, so people were paying you already?
Yeah, I was ready. You got to see when I'm in 5th grade and 6th grade and all that, I'm in the magazines. I'm holding a Nike sneaker up. Like, that's not free. And you got to remember at this time, we going back to the 90s, and during that time, everybody broke. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the crib. It's 10, 15 of us in the house, with a lot of love, but shit, Like we ain't have it.
I mean, but wasn't that all under the table money, pretty much?
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, you have these situations where people will give you a bunch of money, the local D-boy or whoever, or whoever scout, would give you money, then expect you to sign with them later on. Was there any of that type of thing going on?
My community, my community took a liking to me in a certain way, so I never needed in that type of way. Okay. But in my household, growing up, we ain't have no furniture, nobody have no cars, none of that type of stuff. So I was like, I went outside, Stephon came with a red Range Rover. I was like, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Ziggy. Ziggy, I remember him calling me to his house, right? And he was like, I'm like in 6th grade. And he was like, we got a new Nike deal. It's because of you, but I'm not giving you all the money. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, can I get a Avirex? He went to buy me whatever, $1,000 Avirex, some foreign posits that was $250. And I ain't been the same since.